We are reading 26.3, Conservation of Energy Resources, found on page 698. As you've learned, traditional energy resources such as fossil fuels are non-renewable in unlimited supply. Yet, industrialized countries continue to consume these resources at ever-increasing rates. Figure 2618 compares the energy resources used in the industrialized countries to those used in developing countries. The graphs in figure 2618 shows that renewable resources account for 41% of the energy used in the developing countries in comparison to industrialized countries where renewable resources account for only 10% of the energy used. Experts have concluded that the best way to meet energy needs is a combination of improved energy efficiency and decreased use of locally available renewable energy resources. This means that it is better to use a variety of energy resources at all times than to depend upon a single non-renewable energy resource such as oil, coal, or natural gas. For example, a community that has hydroelectricity energy resources may also use solar energy to generate electricity in months when water levels are low. Energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is the use of energy resources in the ways that are most productive. This means using the same amount of resource but getting more for it. To find ways to use resource more efficiently, scientists study exactly how energy resources are used and where improvements are needed. Using resources more efficiently is a type of conservation. How can energy efficiency be improved? Energy analysis have suggested several ways of doing so. People can recycle old appliances and vehicles and purchase newer, more energy efficient models. They also can improve the energy efficiency of older homes by adding insulation solar panels, and by installing new windows or they may purchase newer energy efficient homes. Local power companies can use energy from alternative resources in areas where they are available to decrease their dependence on petroleum. Governments also can help by offering tax savings to people who buy more efficient vehicles and appliances, and by funding research and development projects related to energy efficiency. Conservation of energy resources. Do you wet your toothbrush, then turn off the water while you brush your teeth? When you leave an empty room, do you turn off the lights? You can probably think of many other ways that you could conserve energy at home, at school, and in the workplace. Conserving energy is, in the long run, less expensive than finding new energy sources. You can find out how energy use has changed in the problem-solving lab on this page. Getting more for less. The usual approach of energy use in industrialized countries has been to spend more to get more. High demand requires a greater supply and results in higher costs. The price that people in these countries pay for energy is high. This is especially true of electrical energy. Electricity is costly to produce and is most efficiently used in homes or industry. In the United States, approximately 93% of the energy used by motor vehicles and to heat homes and businesses is wasted. One solution to shift in the most efficient use of energy rather than the search for more energy. If this became the norm, less energy would be needed, thus helping the total cost of energy to go down. One example of this concept involves merely changing the type of light bulb in a lamp. Replacing an incandescent light bulb with a compact fluorescent light bulb, shown in figure 2619, would save the consumer $35 to $50 over the 10-year life of the light bulb. Replacing just 25 incandescent light bulbs in a house with fluorescent ones could save between $87 to $125 each year in electricity costs. Use of fluorescent light bulbs or other energy-efficient lighting could save businesses in the United States alone billions of dollars per year in the cost of electricity. In addition, less energy could be used. This would help to reduce the amount of coal or other fossil fuels needed for generation of electricity, which could in turn decrease the amount of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide emitting into the atmosphere. The net effect would be a reduction of air pollution. Cogeneration. When power plants' electrical generate electricity, waste heat is given off during the process. However, it is possible to recover this waste heat and use it to produce another form of energy. The production of two usable forms of energy, such as steam and electricity, at the same time from the same process is called cogeneration. Cogeneration can produce income and reduce the need for additional energy resources. One secondary use of the heat given off by the generation of electricity is the warming of buildings or water. Another is the operation of electrical devices in the power plant, such as scrubbers, which remove sulfur from an air emitting from smokestacks. Cogeneration has enabled Central Florida to operate the nation's cleanest coal-powered electrical facility. Sweden also achieved an 85% energy efficiency rating while releasing only a fraction of the nitrogen oxide and sulfur oxide emissions that are permitted for coal-powered using in the United States. Improving efficiency in transportation. Transportation is necessary to move food and other goods from one place to another and to move people from their homes to the workplace, schools, stores, and other places. Although transportation requires the use of fuel, conservation practices can help reduce dependency on the fuel resources used for transportation. The use of fuel-efficient vehicles is one way to reduce the amount of petroleum resources consumed. Automobile manufacturers now have the ability to build vehicles that achieve high rates of fuel efficiency without sacrificing performance. Laws that lower speed limits help improve the fuel efficiency because engines burn fuel more completely at lower speeds. The future of this industry looks especially promising as hybrid and electrical cars, such as the one shown in Figure 2620, begin to reach the consumer market. People who live in metropolitan areas can improve energy efficiency by using public transportation. When it is necessary to drive private automobiles, carpooling can reduce the number of vehicles on the highways and reduce gasoline consumption. Carpooling also eases congestion on major highways in and around the cities. Some metropolitan areas, such as Washington, D.C., encourage carpooling by providing express lanes for cars with multiple passengers, as illustrated in Figure 2621. In Europe, mass transportation includes long-distance rail systems such as rail and electric trams and trolleys in the major cities. People who live in rural areas are often dependent on automobiles. In many rural areas, modes of transportation other than automobile are eliminated or non-existent. However, with the increasing importance of computers and access to the internet, more jobs can be performed from home. The use of bicycles for short distances is another option in some areas. In China, a country of 1.3 billion people, approximately 300 billion bicycles are in use. 300 million bicycles are in use, improving efficiency in industry. While industries use 1/3 of all energy produced in the United States, cogeneration has allowed some industries to increase population while leveling off their energy use. This has been accomplished in part by the use of more efficient machinery. Industries can further improve their energy efficiency by making greater efforts to reduce their use of both materials and the energy used to produce those materials. For example, packaging can be reduced overall, and unnecessary packaging can be eliminated. These efforts would cut down on resource use, lower costs, and also reduce the amount of solid waste, increasing efficiency at home. People can do many things in their homes to conserve energy. For example, fluorescent lights last longer than incandescent light bulbs and need to be replaced less frequently. The use of energy-efficient appliances can also make a significant difference in energy consumption. This is especially true of appliances that consume large amounts of energy, such as refrigerators, water heaters, and ovens. The use of more efficient insulation on existing homes can result in dramatic savings on heating costs, especially in climates with colder winters. As warm air rises, heat escapes through windows, chimneys, and roofs. Weather stripping around doorways and caulking around older windows can help keep cold air outside and warm air inside. Insulating pipes and water heaters also reduce energy consumption. Building materials and windows are rated according to their insulation abilities. Construction materials are labeled with these ratings known as R values, as shown in Figure 2622. The use of materials with high insulation values can significantly reduce energy consumption. Replacing older windows can save so much money in reducing energy costs that the windows pay for themselves in just a few years. When new structures are built, the use of energy efficient materials and windows can have a major impact on future energy needs. Designs for new buildings that incorporate passive and active solar heating can reduce the need for the consumption of traditional energy resources. Find out more about the solar heating in the Design Your Own GeoLab at the end of this chapter. Some window manufacturers now triple glaze their windows as shown in figure 2623, or place an insert gas between the panes to reduce energy loss. Super insulation and air barriers in new homes built in Minnesota recently resulted in heating savings of 68%. Newly constructed buildings that are now designed to save energy costs more initially, but can save more money and resources in the long run. Sustainable energy. All humans have needs for energy, but these needs vary. Energy resources on Earth are interrelated and they affect one another. Sustainable energy involves the global management of Earth's natural resources to meet current and future energy needs without causing environmental damage. A good management plan incorporates both conservation and energy efficiency. The development of new technology to extend current resources and produce additional energy resources is a vital part of such a plan. Global cooperation can help ensure the necessary balance between the protection of environment and economic growth. The achievement of these goals will depend on the commitment made by all to ensure the future generations have access to the energy resources required to maintain a high quality of life on Earth.